same tire, right? They lift the same weights, like squat to press. Want to sustain longer durations of powerful exercises? Maybe we're missing something in your training. There are methods that we can easily adapt and put into your training today. Do you know what the anaerobic power reserve is? Well, let's find out right now and how important it is for you. Okay, flip it over on this side. We have three different individuals. Individual A has an aerobic capacity, or basically ability to use oxygen. That's quite low, but their powerful explosiveness and strength is quite high. Okay, so you can see that quite significantly more than the other two. Then we have individual B, who has moderate aerobic capacity, and then a smaller powerful output, still pretty good. And then we have an individual, number C, the letter C, the aerobic capacity is most of the time what they use. This could be, as we can see, more endurance training. So this is like a cyclist. This is more like a team sport individual, like a football player, rugby player, individuals who need to be able to withstand longer durations, but still need to be powerful. And then we have like a weightlifter, power lifter, shot putter, individuals and athletes kind of like that. So to bring this into a bit more of a perspective of kind of a gym atmosphere, let's say you're outside doing Spartan. You're asked to flip a tire, okay? A tire that you find that you can manage to do, not too many times. Somebody else, similar, powerful explosiveness and everything comes, and in a way, how do I say it? They outperform you. They do more, but it's very, you ask yourself the question, why is that? Well, this actually is quite important, and let's go through that right now, of how you can develop more powerful strength for longer. How is this important to you? So we have two individuals who have the same power output. Okay, they can sustain the same amount of intensity on a bike. They can lift the same tire, right? They lift the same weights, like squat to press, things like that. Okay, so you're paired up with somebody, you both are lifting the same, fantastic. But then you turn around and question, well, why is that individual able to sustain 5 more reps than I can? That's interesting. Or the other way around. How am I able to do more reps than someone else? We don't compare ourselves, but this is how we can understand this situation. So we have individual A with a smaller aerobic system, and an individual B who has a larger aerobic system. Which one, A or B, would be able to withstand longer within that same amount of power output? What do you think? Well, if we look at what we said earlier, individuals with larger aerobic capacity, like cyclists, endurance runners, everybody, can actually withstand longer at lower intensities, right? But we're considering the same intensity. So who would be able to withstand? Well, we have individual B, because within that work time period, they're utilizing more oxygen, which isn't fatiguing. We utilize oxygen all day long. So the individual B would use more oxygen for the same power output, non-fatiguing, and have a very small amount of fatiguing, powerful explosiveness to achieve the top. Okay, individual A has a very small aerobic system, which means that they're utilizing very small amounts that are non-fatiguing and larger amounts that actually are fatiguing, which is the anaerobic system. Okay, you might have heard of the term lactic acid and things like that, but that's a whole nother video later on. But the key is that we understand that the anaerobic system doesn't utilize oxygen and needs to find another substrate to actually burn. And that means that they are going to fatigue sooner. Doesn't mean they're going to lift lower, but they're going to fatigue sooner than individual B. That's something to take in, because it's quite important to understand that if you want to sustain longer durations of powerful exercises, maybe we're missing something in your training. If you haven't done a lot of aerobic training, foundational, there's not just plodding along. That is very helpful and very needed to plod along on low intensity steady state, or you might know as LISS. But there's other methods to aim for the aerobic system to support your powerful explosiveness. Okay, in summary, we see that there are two main aerobic and anaerobic systems that actually support our training and our outcome. The question is, where do you lie? Which way do you need to train? Do you need to uplift your aerobic capacity, build that up a little bit for your purpose? If you're a weightlifter, if you're a power lifter, you may not, but there are still aerobic foundational systems that you might need to increase. Same thing, individual B, this is where most people probably lie. They want to withstand longer durations, but you still have a lot of strength and power behind them generally. And then there's individuals who are really endurance focused and like, oh, man, I just wish I was lifting heavier, being able to push things a little faster. Okay, that is something that is very much needed, but do you find that your aerobic capacity and you're on a treadmill or a bike for long durations might be taking out some of the focus of your training? So looking at each one, again, you might be able to move down or move up. I do find that this is a great zone if you generally want to be in a well-being state. and you don't need specific competition or any specific need, but you do need to make sure that the aerobic system is very, very founded and you're feeling very good. And if you feel like you need any more direction or support, there are methods that we can easily adapt and put into your training today that will support you. So think about it, let's get training the right way and see how powerful and how long you want to last and what we can do to do that.